Sorry, we can't hear you, sir.
Drive impact, any opportunity to affect lives. What you're doing is you're sowing a seed. You're sowing a seed basically. You're sowing a seed, and tomorrow that seed would.
So sorry, your audio is going and coming. Sorry.
Right. So and that, yeah, that is um okay. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, sir.
Okay. I've been speaking for like 2 minutes now.
Sorry. Wow.
Challenge hearing me. Fatima Oluwaseun Emmanuel, can you guys hear me?
Yes, Emmanuel can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, but it's
Yes, I
break.
can hear you.
Did you say you can hear me?
Yes, I
Yes, I
can hear
can.
you.
I can hear you now, sir.
Yeah, I mean I want to be sure that it's actually flowing. Not kind of cutting.
It was
If
cutting
it's
before.
cutting. Yes. Was that just with you or with everyone else?
That's what I
With
want to confirm.
It was
everyone else. It was cutting
break.
It
from
was
here.
with me, but it's okay now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more stable now.
I mean, if it happens again.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So what I was saying is, I was just commending you
Thank you,
for
sir.
this initiative. Keep doing it. It can only bring out the best out of you and set a platform for future big things you're about to do. It's a preparation ground. All right.
Thank you, sir.
So, guys, congratulations on being here. I'm going to be sharing. Let's just share the next 5 minutes together and discuss some knowledge about innovation and how they can apply and how it can apply in waste management. Do you want to tell me very briefly, someone, Joshua, maybe you, tell me very briefly what this program is about?
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. The initiative is about training youths, especially people who are skilled, because we are not teaching you how to convert waste to wealth per se. We are teaching you how to use your skill to solve a problem, which is the waste management problem. You know, the waste management problem is a global challenge which is featured in the United Nations Sustainability Goal, and we are trying to see how to make people in different professions see the way their skill or whatsoever profession they are doing is in line can be used to solve the menace of waste in their respective community.
Okay. Okay, I get it.
Thank
All
you.
right. So, well done. All right, guys. Innovation. What role would innovation play? I think it's central and critical for anything you want to do with respect to value creation, even in the waste management domain. You have to apply the principles of innovation. And this is what we're going to be looking at this evening. We're going to be looking at seven principles that will be relevant, seven innovation principles that will be relevant for you to apply towards converting, creating a solution in the space of waste management. But I want to make something very clear. Innovation is not just about creating stuff. Innovation is not just about creating a solution to manage waste. It's more than that. Innovation would be creating a solution that would be seen to be viable. That solution would have to be viable. The solution in itself cannot be an innovation. If you create a solution that is able to help you convert or clear or manage waste domestically, I mean, it just helps you convert the waste you have in your home and all of that. Okay, that is beautiful, but that is not an innovation. That is a solution. That is fine. It could be an invention. Wonderful. It could be a beautiful solution. But it does not fit into be called an innovation until that innovation is seen to be viable. And what does viability mean? So I'm going to just tell you very simple, in a simple way, what viability means. Viability means that it is able to solve someone's problem. It's able to solve someone's problem, and in return, give you value. So it should give you some value, and then solve someone's problem, give someone value. So that reciprocity of value will make it to be viable, and that is what will make your solution complete as an innovation. This is very clear. This is very important that you get. If you create that solution and then someone is eventually going to pay for it, that is what makes it viable. Number two, if you create that solution and someone would would um and that solution will have an impact on someone, right? So the bottom line can be money. The bottom line can also be impact. Now, you may not be interested in the money, but you're interested in the impact, the fact that it reduces some communicable diseases, for example. That is what you're most interested in. Facts that it makes the place now look beautiful, beautifies the landscape, the environment. That may be what you're interested in. So far that it reduces the incidence of malaria in a particular place. That may be what you're interested in. So either it gives that impact or it gives money, right? It gives profit. But it has to have value it gives, and value it gives you in return. That value it gives you in return, it's important to note that it can come in form of money, and it can come in form of some level of value you may wish to um, define for yourself. But when I talk about innovation, most times I tell people it's not just only about value. That is not value. It's not just about value in time, right? Like there's value by way of impact. It should also give you money in some way, because if it doesn't give you money, you don't stand the chance of creating another solution tomorrow.
Very true.
So
Very
you
true.
you create something today, you create a product that is able to convert waste, for example, waste in an environment to a product. But then you give out that product and nobody pays you money for it, meaning there is no business model around that. That is not an innovation. While it could clear the waste, reduce mosquitoes in that environment, reduce the pollution, environmental pollution and all of that. Okay, what that happens, but that is not an innovation, because you can only create as many products as you get the funding for. Right? There is no sustainability in that sense. The people you're building that product for should find a way to give value back to you, even if at no profit, even if at no profit, so that you can be able to produce another one. right? So there should be that system in place. There should be that system in place. Now, let's say Bill Gates is funding what you do. Now, Bill Gates has what? A need. If Bill Gates is funding it, that means Bill Gates has a need. And that need is to clear mosquitoes in an environment called Lagos State. Now, the indigenous of Lagos may not be paying you for that product that you have created or for that program, innovative program you have enshrined, you have created. They may not be paying it. But Bill Gates, whose objectives are to clear mosquito, is paying you. Bill Gates has to pay you. So in any effect, someone has to pay you for the cycle to be complete, for the cycle of innovation to be complete. Otherwise, you do it once and then that ends at that point. There is no repeat, right? So we say that innovation must be able to yield its weighted cost of capital, meaning that it should be able to give you in return what you have been able to put in, so that the efforts and the interventions would what continue. That sustainability has to be there for us to call it an innovation. If you build something that nobody is going to pay for, nobody appreciates, you have not built an innovation, an innovative product. You have not innovated, as a matter of fact. So taking that out of the way, let us then go into the seven principles. Number one is the first principle of problem exploration. Problem exploration. Um, so you want to be able to explore the problem, explore the problem. Problem exploration, you can also call it opportunity opportunity exploration, right? So here, when I'm talking about problem, I'm also talking about opportunity. You want to explore the opportunity. You want to explore the problem. Very important. Now, this may be the most important thing I'll be saying in this section, and that is the fact that you don't start waste management with the solution. You don't start from the solution, you start from the problem. Very important. So you ask yourself, what is the problem that I'm trying to address? So you start from the place of the problem. It is not from the place of the solution. You don't start because you have an idea. That is a wrong way to start. You start because there is a problem to solve, a problem that belongs to a specified segment of the market, a problem that belongs to a category in the market, in the society. There is this defined category of the market that you want to solve the problem. Problem is identified, problem that somebody can be quantified. There is that problem out there you want to solve. And that problem has to do with what? Waste. Right? So that is it. You must define that problem. You must define that problem. It may be, okay, you want to see how you can manage the problem of hospital disposables. Right? Now that is a problem. Hospital disposables. And you're managing this, you're solving this problem for hospital you know, waste management center, right? So that whole disposal system in the hospital is solving this problem for them. So there must be a problem defined. There must be a problem explored. There must be an opportunity explored. There must be challenge explored for somebody to find. That is number one thing you have to do. Why is it important not to start from the solution? It's because solutions are ephemeral, solutions are temporary. The solution you want to fall in love with today may not be relevant tomorrow. The problems are always there. The problem will always remember. So it's important for you to fall in love with the problem and not with the solution. Because when you fall in love with the problem, what happens is that the universe, God, in essence, is going to reveal to you how best to solve the problem. So you start from the problem, not the solution. So that is important to note. Number two, when you have define the problem you want to solve. The second thing you want to do with respect to innovation is to ideate. This is the point where you now begin to ask yourself, what are the different solutions possible in order to solve this problem identified? What are the different solutions possible in order to solve this problem identified? So you begin to ideate, you begin to research different ideas, not one idea. Whenever you find it, it's a situation, just one idea. So that is why it's important to go from the problem. Because if you go from the solution, the problem there is that you will be bent on sticking to one solution, but there's no such thing as one solution. So that is why it's important for you to start from the problem. Because if you start from the problem, you will be you open up yourself to many different ideas towards solving, right? So it's important to start from the problem. Now, ideation will include or will involve you coming up with several ideas, but these ideas are mere raw materials. So what are you supposed to do with these ideas? You're supposed to look at these ideas, combine the ones you want to combine, play around with these ideas, research around them. You can even get other experts to contribute to ideation of this problem. You need to ask yourself, how has Indonesia solved this problem that I want to solve now? Am I the only one that is thinking about this problem for the first time? How has the Indians solved this problem? How has the Ghanaians solved this problem? So you just do your main research and then you go ahead to ideas, come up with ideas, write them down, write them down, write them down, write them down. Don't write anything less than 10 ways to solve this problem. Think about the ideas if you want to really come up with an innovative idea, an innovative solution rather. Unless you just want to just do what came up to you. But if it must be an innovative one, you have to generate a number of them. Okay, when you generate a number of them, you then build a concept around it. Right? That's when you now can come up with a solution. The idea is different from the solution. So these ideas are raw materials. When you look at all these ideas, you ask yourself, what can I bring together? What can I combine? What can I remove from any of these ideas? How can I make these ideas to become a solution to solve this problem? So this
Sorry, I can't.
actually
Okay, cool. Go ahead, sir, please. I can't hear you from my end. I don't know if I'm the only one.
I can't hear here either.
were you hearing me on this one?
For about a few seconds, we were not hearing.
Okay.
All right.
At what point did you stop hearing me?
How you can merge the ideas together.
Okay. Okay, that means you didn't miss much. So I was saying that you want to begin to think of um how to bring the ideas together to make a solution. Because an idea is not a solution, it's just an idea. It's a raw material. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what shall we do with the ideas that we have? People have come, they have helped us to come up with ideas on how to solve this problem, but it doesn't stop there. I want to now take these ideas and make a solution out of these ideas, asking questions such as, is it feasible for me to do this? Can this technology be accessible in Nigeria where I am? Right? Is this something that I can execute? Are the laws in favor of this idea? You ask questions that will now make you select one, not necessarily select one, maybe select now and come up with a solution out of those ideas. And it can be just by combining three ideas and now form one solution, right? So if you don't go through that part, you find out that you would hardly come up with an innovative solution to the problem. So it's important that you, at this point, what ideate and come up with a solution. But when you have now come up with a solution, what do you do? What you then do is to make a prototype, build something, use something that you can test. The whole essence of innovation, maybe I'm saying it late, the whole essence of innovation is to learn, right? It's the learning process that you're interested in. You only learn. The more you learn, the more you can create something that is useful. So you don't stop at coming up with a solution. You want to build something that is testable. You want to build something that is testable. You want to build a prototype. Very important. So build the smallest version of what you have in mind. What you have in mind may be so robust, but don't go building what is so robust. You build it, you build the smallest form of it that can help you to test. That can help you to test. Why do you want to test? You want to test because there are a lot of assumptions that are out there, especially if it's a new thing. Let's say you're coming up with a technology to convert placenta. You see this placenta that women um, dispose of after childbirth. Maybe your technology is to convert that placenta to some form of manual or for some form of product, right? As funny as that sounds. Now, the thing there is that as a solution in itself, it may be a good one, but the truth is that there are assumptions. There are assumptions upon which this solution is built. One of which is, can I even assemble enough of this placenta? Can I be able to assemble enough of this placenta? That becomes an assumption. Culturally, would mothers be willing to allow me go home with your placenta? That is another assumption you want to test. Now, for you to be able to test these things, you want to have at least a prototype. Now, the point is that you even need to test that the placenta will be able to yield the assumed output, right? The output you had assumed. It's possible it will not yield it exactly as you assumed. So that is why you have to come up with a prototype, right? To test it. Proof of concept. And sometimes you don't need to build something physically. It may be something you have to just simply design in the computer and subject it to some stress, subject it to some parameters, indices that are relevant for this to work in real life. That is it. Prototyping. It's very important and critical for you to prototype and test. Testing is very important. Testing is very important. Testing is very important because then, if you don't test and come up with data, why are you testing? Because you want to come up with data. If you don't test and come up with data, it becomes difficult for you to make any case about the solution. Now that leads me to the next section, the next principle, which is you have to be able to make the case for your solution. Now, that solution you have, make a case. Tell the world why it's important. Tell the world why it matters. Tell the world why it should be a solution that they must see. Right? You only have a proof of concept. You only have a prototype, but that is not where you don't stop the journey there. You have to what? Announce it. You have to announce it. You have to pitch it. You have to now write proposals. You have to tell someone about it. This is a critical aspect of what innovation. It's a principle of innovation which you should not take for granted. So you have to what? Make a case. You want to announce it. You want to publish it. You want to talk about it. But before you talk about it, if there is an invention, if there is something unique about it, you want to also protect it first. We want to protect the intellectual property. If there's something unique that you think is, can be just traceable to you, right? You're the first that may have done this in Nigeria, then go and protect it, patent it. So that is part of making the case. So go ahead and make the case, right? Go ahead and talk about it. Why are you talking about it? Because you want funds, you want investments, you want someone to finance the further creation of this technology, of this product. Right? Very important. Very important. By the time, because before you know it, we start getting grants. Start getting grants. You start an investor, someone may just give you money. But you don't stop there. So what do you do with that money? What you do with that money is to now go to the next principle. That is the principle of what? Developing. You then develop your solution, right? You develop, you implement, you deliver, right? So you can call it implementation phase, execution phase. You then want to actually develop and build that product now. This is where you start talking about building a minimum viable product or building your final thing, but you just want to what now go out there and do the work. Okay, build that solution at this stage. This is the real stage to build the solution. When you have built your solution, it's going to take you some time. You may not even be able to build it in Nigeria as a matter of fact. But the point is that you're building your solution. We have built it, and the things I'm talking about, remember, it's not necessarily supposed to be about tangible products. It can even be programs. This is also the way it goes. We have implemented it. The next thing we want to do is to grow it, right? Grow it and scale it. Maybe you start from Benin, that you want to take it around Edo State, right? Maybe if you're done with Edo State, you now want to take it to other
States in Nigeria.
of Nigeria. That is how it goes. It's important for you to understand that you don't just build, you want to also what it. So that is the principle of growth. The growth principle that comes with innovation, growth and scaling. We have grown it. That is just finally to the last stage. And actually, there's something about growth. At that growth stage, actually, for each of these stages, you should have your indices, your matrix of success, or your matrix, things you want to measure, things you want to measure. How do you know when you have passed that stage? You want to go to the next stage. So there must be success matrix. You say, okay, fine, I have grown when I have been able to get 1,000 people using my product. 1,000 people intervened. 2 tons of waste processed through my product. There has to be a success metric.
Wow.
Now you move on to now the next and final stage, which is changing systems. The whole essence of innovation, the whole essence of what you're doing is not to make money, it's not to build something and say you have built something. No, it is because you want to change systems. That is the ultimate goal. There is a system for waste disposal or waste management in Benin, in Edo State today. There is a system. That is the system that your eyes are on to change. There is a system how people are doing things today in their different sectors. That is the system you are about to change. But how do you do that? You start through the journey of innovation. That is where you start from, like one step at a time. Towards getting to that, changing the system. It may take you 1 decade to do that. It may take you 20 years to do that. But your eyes are on the goal, which is to change the system. We are all called. We are all called. We all have a ministry to change systems. That is what we are all supposed to be doing. Our missions are supposed to be to affect and to change systems. Right. So your position is to identify what is the system I'm supposed to ultimately change with my life.
Hmm.
right? So you affect some section of the society, and I'm glad you guys have chosen the aspect of environmental system to change. And I wish you the best of luck. By the end
Thank you,
of the
sir.
day, you have an innovation that is not just able to stand in itself as an innovation, but one that is able to what, contribute to changing the system, solving a problem
Wow.
that matters systematically.
Hmm.
That is the full essence of innovation. And life becomes what impactful for you to live a life not of what purpose, a life that is not filled with emptiness. And it's important to understand that. I like it when young people carve out a vision for their lives and pursue them consistently,
Hmm.
systematically towards solving problems that matter.
Hmm.
I wish you the
Oh,
best of luck, guys.
wow.
I want
Thank
to
you
know
so much.
if you have any questions.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you
So
very
let me
much.
take questions now. I think we have 6 minutes to go. You're welcome.
These questions. Okay.
Yes,
Oluwaseun
go
wants to ask
ahead.
a question, please.
Okay. I have a question. Thank you very much, Mr. Ichi, for the as it was very comprehensive. My question is this: assuming I pick up an innovative line, let me say tire, for instance, and then along the line I realize that, oh, in my own small mind, I have found something new, and then halfway into the program I realize that, wow, like a lot of persons have done too much in that field. Do I continue or ditch it and look for another problem to solve? How do I go about it?
Okay. Okay, good question. First of all, is that you're not supposed to be reinventing the wheel. In innovation, we don't reinvent the wheel,
Okay.
right? You have to focus on something that is unique. You want to contribute to what already exists and not to reinvent the wheel. It's important to know that. Um, while someone may have done it, you may focus on now on how to innovate the business model. In other words, if the solution is still quite expensive, you can now your innovation may not be on the product today, but on how to make that product accessible to all persons that need it. Right. So that becomes what your innovation, which will be in the business model aspect of it. You get the point. So you are not permitted to reinvent the wheel. But then to answer your question, the truth about it is that if you have come to a point where you don't think you need to continue because it will be a waste of resources because you're reinventing the wheel, what you're supposed to do at that point is to go back to the drawing board. I gave you 7 steps. These
Yeah.
7 steps are iterable. They are not in a straight line. They are just like a circle. So you can jump from number 6 back to number 1. You can jump from number 4 back to number 3. That is the way, back and forth. That is the way it goes. It's not, a complete straight line that you cannot turn back. It is iterable. Very important to note this. So
Hmm.
when you have seen that, that is why it's also important for you to fall in love with the problem. Because if you fall in love with the solution, what happens is that you foolishly keep doing what you know that
Hmm.
does not work, which other people
Hmm.
have done already,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
Because you fell in love with the solution. But that is why, if you fell in love with the problem is always there. You go back then to look at other ways, better ways to solve the problem. Because you also still have your pool of ideas. Remember, the pool of ideas are still there. So you go back
Hmm.
to choose another idea to solve, to work. Have I answered your question?
Very well.
Wow.
Is it okay to ask another question, please?
Please
Yes.
go ahead.
We
Okay.
have 3 more minutes. Just go ahead.
Okay. Um, in most cases, as artists, we realize that we are focused on the creative aspect of it. We have little or no idea on the business aspect of what we are doing.
Yeah.
So in this line, you realize that a lot of artists, we create or we just do things, but we don't really exceed that point of creation. Like that part you talked about and showcasing it to the world, writing proposals, we don't really know how to go about it. Now, will you suggest that in order to fill in the gap for us to grow our horizon, we should probably take courses in something related to the business aspect, or I don't get it. How do we go about that part?
Yeah. So the whole thing is for you to acquire knowledge. You have to take courses if you have to, or get someone to work with you, get partners, form a team. Um, Actually, also, it's important for me to state that no innovation is accomplished by one person. Right? So you can be excellent at everything. Um, yeah, so it's important for you to. So that's why it's important to understand the soft skills that are relevant for the age we are in. One of these soft skills is collaboration. Right. So communication is one of them. Collaboration is another one. Creativity is another one. Right. So it's important to know how to collaborate with others. What Joshua has done today, this evening, is to collaborate with me. Right. And then I'm here sharing this, and then his program is having value. Because ordinarily, for me to spend for 5 minutes, 1 hour sharing this any platform, I know how much I would make. Right. So if I ask it, yeah, so normally, I mean, just yesterday, I went to a parastatal in a federal government parastatal that invited me to come and speak. For this number of, for this for 5 minutes, 1 hour that I spoke with them, they gave me 150K. Because that is my charge, right? So, but now he doesn't need to, he just had to build a relationship and collaborate. So that's collaboration. So you don't need to learn everything. He doesn't need to go learn it. Now leave what he did. Now become a professional expert, right? So that becomes that that's one. So while you can have diverse knowledge, take courses, it's important for you to also collaborate. So but the point about it is that innovation can never be executed completely end to end by one person.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Wow, fantastic. Any other question before we call it a day?
Yes. Oh, sorry, sir. Um, last question. I remember I once I had attended a program sometimes in 2020 during that COVID period, and then it was supposed to be an entrepreneurship program, and then at some point they were trying to teach us how to write proposal. So they made us come up with like what's that thing you want to do, as in if the organization can assist you and all of that. If your idea is mind blowing enough, then they can invest in it. And then that was when I unleashed what I had in mind, as in, I didn't know the technical know how to write proposal, but I could just explain with my mouth. And then I was thinking we were going to, at the end of the day, support. But at the end of the day, it was just as time went by. But just last year, I realized that my idea, I saw it in the market, like, this is my concept. I tried finding information about it and realized that the person who is whatever behind that sales is somebody, one of the coordinators in that program. I felt bad. So the thing is, my question now is, there's a place you made mention that we should, where's that line? Where's that line? Like,
Protect
um,
your idea.
check our ID. So is it that from the onset now, I have to make case for my idea, as in, or it is already something, if as in like if the idea and I have to make case for it, or it's when it's in the beam light already, like when I'm already working on it.
Okay, let me quickly answer your question. I think I get it. So it's a good question. You want once you okay, so once you don't go talking to people about your idea completely,
Okay.
even if you write proposals all this stuff, unless you have protected it. Yeah. Unless you have protected it. So there are different ways to you can protect it. But if it's a physical thing you want to do and you're in the creative, so either you so there's something we call industrial design, meaning the form of it is something, the way it looks, you go and you go and protect the way it looks so that no other person would come. But if it's about a process, a technology, then you patent it, right? So, but the point I'm making is that there is such a thing as protecting your intellectual property, and it's with the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment.
Sorry.
You make inquiries. Ministry of Investment, Industry and Trade. Yeah. So, but I mean, if you make inquiries, Joshua can always connect you to us. And then the point I'm trying to make in effect is that you should protect it before it goes out. But even if you have not protected it and you maybe go for a display and all of that kind of stuff, um, once you make the display, make sure you protect it within 6 months of making it public. So within 6 months of making it public, go ahead and protect it. After 6 months, it may not be protected completely. Even if you still succeed in protecting it, someone can go ahead and do, locate that your thing, take that your item. When you put it to court, the person would, leave it. But there's something you need to know. Protecting it is just for a period of time. Yeah, I think it's for about 15 years for industrial design. So meaning that over 15 years, nobody should be able to use it but you. Yeah. So there are durations for the protection. Um, yeah. So you need to protect it. Don't divulge everything to the public until you protect it. Yeah, yeah. That's it.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you can look out for the next course application for the Young Innovation Leader fellowship. That's the YIL fellowship. You can just check yilfellowship.com. And you can also look out for the I think recap research commercialization by Hutzpa Innovation. You can just get Dr. Obichi. You can send him a message on LinkedIn, and you can get information about those things. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you for joining us. God bless you, sir.
You're welcome. Well done,
Thank you.
man. Well done,
Thank you. Thank
guys.
you, sir.
All right. Good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye, sir. All right. All right. I believe you have learned a lot, and